Planning and real estate development.
The definition of real estate, according to Business Dictionary, is land and anything fixed, immovable, or permanently attached to it. Potential careers in this field are assistant, property manager, leasing assistant, office coordinator, administrative assistant, and bookkeeper. The career trajectory for Mr. Sun is: he started out working at a restaurant, which helped him build people skills, patience, and empathy. He also worked in undergrad with design and art history, which helped him understand the field and his likes and dislikes, and how to prioritize and schedule around his classes and social life. He started interning in an office in his field of study in DC, which helped him realize his likes and dislikes, but also allowed him to get used to an office environment and how to deal with people in that way. He also was working for the Navy, which allowed him to see what working for the federal government was like. He worked in economic development, which allowed him to see how one aspect in the field of urban planning operated, and it also allowed him to work with state level government. His current job allows him to learn how to run a committee and run public meetings.
Salaries for a real estate agent. Real estate agents can make up to $50,000 a year on a project. Salaries for urban development. Depending on the city, it can range from $40,000 to $60,000 depending on your experience.
Work locations for real estate agents. Works on location and from home. He travels to job sites to meet with contractors, and he is responsible for setting up meetings to go over plans for businesses.
The work location for an urban developer is working from home or working on site.
My dad went to RMC! Go Jacket!
Education from Mr. Sun. He got his advanced diploma from Frank W. Cox High School, a bachelor's degree in public and urban affairs from Virginia Tech, and a master's in urban regional planning from VCU.
Personality types for a real estate agent. Works with a wide variety of people with different skills.
Personality types in the field of urban development. There is a mix. Some are very design oriented, others are driven by budgets and needing to ensure that deadlines are met, and others can be pretty number oriented, and others are more philosophical.
The process to start the building process is to A. Receive an application, B. Review application, C. Engage with applicant and other departments to get feedback on the proposal, i.e. are there enough trees, are the sidewalks wide enough, is the stormwater drainage going to be impacted, is there bike parking, all of which are part of other departments of the city. D. Then make a recommendation to the UDC at a public meeting. E. UDC then makes decision, which I then present to the Planning Commission at a subsequent public meeting. F. If approved, the applicant can then apply for building permits and other such things that I can then sign off on.
In the interview, we asked Mr. Tom, "What are your specific duties?" He responded,
A realtor's duties typically are representing buyers and sellers that want or own real estate, homes, or property. A private developer of real estate seeks property for themselves for new construction, buildings to renovate, and repurpose for new uses.
In the interview, we asked him what type of impact he make on the process. His response was,
A realtor impacts most areas of the buying and selling process, providing knowledge of a particular market and helping people make good decisions and accomplish their goals. As a developer, I make an impact by investing in a property, create jobs, and pay taxes in a community.
We asked Mr. Toms what is the most stressful part of your job, and he responded,
Stressful parts of a realtor's job could be all of the details one has working with many different people, all with different issues, wants, and needs. As a developer, and property manager, the stress of the job comes with keeping property leased and maintenance free.
We also asked him of the processes he goes through.
He responded, "The career process for me is as follows. I grew up in a family residential homes construction business. I took courses, qualified for a real estate license, joined a real estate company, sold homes for many years, transitioned into property management, then transitioned into commercial real estate, and then formed my own companies to invest, buy, and sell real estate."
We also asked him, what made you interested in your career? His response:
I became interested in the real estate field of work because my family was involved in building and construction of residential homes. I learned the business from the ground up from the time I was 12 years of age. We later developed subdivisions and worked with city and county governments to get approvals for such projects. My knowledge of construction allowed me to transition into property management, buying and selling, and understanding value of product and property.
We asked him, what is something you didn't expect to come across in your job? He replied,
Something I did not expect in my job was the diversity of involvement I received in other businesses and working with many different people. I became very involved with my professional associations, community groups, and nonprofits. All of these associations gave me much recognition in my community, which was pleasurable and allowed me to broaden into many new business relationships.
we asked Mr. Sun in the interview, what are your specific duties? He responded,
I currently review applications for projects that impact the public realm, such as public parks, trails, plazas, transportation projects, urban mixed-use development, etc. And I ensure that they comply with the city's master plan and keep the city's urban design guidelines. I then present the applicants to the Urban Design Committee, UDC, and make a case for why they should or should not be approved. The UDC then makes a decision, and I take that decision to the Planning Commission and present on why the UDC recommends or does not recommend approval.
we asked him, what type of impact do you make on the process? He responded,
I set up the foundations for discussion, which impacts the timeline and budgets.
we also asked him, what is the most stressful part of your job? He responded,
The unprepared applicants, because it involves much more hand-holding and time being consumed by trying to find the answers.
we asked him, what made you interested in your career? He replied,
Architecture and reasons why certain stores wouldn't locate in an area, i.e., why there are not as many Whole Foods as there are Krogers.